Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you really quickly my 5 favorite mini tarot decks that I use all the time. The first one that I want to talk about is the Everyday Tarot. And I got this one on Amazon for like $9, I think, so totally worth it in my opinion. The cards look like this. They're like a little bit wider than standard playing cards, I think, but about the same size as playing cards. And the images are based on the Rider-Waite. And what I love about these cards is that they're really, really minimalistic, the pictures are, but all the important symbolism is still included. And the color scheme is really pretty too, the gold and the purple and the white. The one thing I will say though, I've heard some people list this as a negative, but it doesn't really bother me, is that the back of the cards aren't symmetrical. So you can see like the little cloud pattern isn't symmetrical, so you can tell if the cards are reversed or not. See like that cloud, and there's not one on that side. And the one thing about this deck that does really bother me though, is that I don't like the box that it comes in. Like it's a nice looking box, but there's this plastic flap that you have to like dig your finger into to open to get the cards out, and it is a struggle every time. But this deck, this particular deck, lives in the center console of my car, so I don't really use it for traveling in the sense of like throwing it in my overnight bag or anything like that, but it is always in my center console for when I want it, I guess. And the next deck is the Smith-Waite Centennial Tarot in a Tin, and I got this on Amazon too. I do a lot of shopping on Amazon. But I got this on Amazon for about $16 or $17. And this is one of my favorite editions of the Rider-Waite deck, actually. The card backs are super pretty. I love the color and I love the design. And the coloring of the images themselves are a little bit more muted than the standard Rider-Waite deck. The Rider Tarot deck, that's the one I'm talking about. This one. Like this one has all the harsh yellow colors to it, and I prefer the more muted colors in this Centennial edition. Plus, it has its own tin, and that's amazing because you don't have to worry about destroying these. Yeah, so this deck actually lives in that room through that window right there. That's where my studio is, and I just keep these on my deck. I keep these on my desk for when I need them. I don't know. All right, and then the next deck that I want to talk about is the mini Rider-Waite deck, the mini Rider Tarot deck. And this deck is just a miniature version of the standard Rider Tarot deck, except okay, so the next deck I want to talk about is the miniature Rider Tarot deck. And this deck lives in my purse at all times. I just like have it tucked into a little side pocket. And I have a really small purse, so it's really nice to have a deck this size because it fits really, really nicely. And it is just your regular standard Rider Tarot. It's got the blue crosshatch back. So the imagery on this deck is basically exactly the same as in this deck, and the card backs are the same too. The one difference though, I will say, is these cards here actually have the calligraphy on the bottom for the card names, like where it says Queen of Swords, it's the actual original calligraphy. Whereas let me see if I can find one. Yeah, whereas these ones here, the calligraphy has been replaced by this typeface, which I don't like as much. So I actually do prefer the mini version of the Rider Tarot deck to the full-size version. And these I also got on Amazon. And I think actually I bought this deck used for like $7 or $8, but I think they're new for about 15 or 16 bucks. All right, so deck number 4 is the Tarot of Pagan Cats. And this is one of my favorite decks of all time. It just makes me super happy because I am a diehard cat lady. But again, it is a Rider-Waite based deck, so the images will still look familiar to you if you're familiar with the Rider-Waite deck. Only instead of humans, we have cats in all of the cards, and I just love this deck so much. I love the illustrations, and this one actually lives on my nightstand. I keep this on my nightstand for whenever I want to, like sometimes if I try to pull a card every morning, but some days I wake up late and don't have as much time, and I'll just grab these really quick while I'm still in bed and pull a card. Here's the Hanged Man. That's one of my favorites. It's the cat hanging off of curtains. Ugh, it's too real. Anyways, and oh, this is what the back of the cards look like. And actually, I think this deck was $10 on Amazon. I actually love this deck so much that I have a backup version, a backup deck, just in case I ever destroy this one. And then the last deck that I want to talk about is the Pams Vintage Tarot. And this deck I ordered off of Drive-Thru Cards. Yes, drivethrucards.com. I really love this deck. This is probably my most used deck. I use this the most for doing readings for other people. And the cards are bridge size. And I find that they just fit really nicely in my hand. They're really comfortable to shuffle. I really like the cardstock. Yeah. And then the imagery. So the reason it's called the Pam's Vintage Tarot is because it has that vintage look to it when you look at the coloring. And something I really like about this deck is that it is borderless. And if you look, none of the cards actually have any writing on them, so none of the titles are on the cards. The majors are numbered at the top, but other than that, there is no writing and no numbers on any of the cards. And I just really like that because I feel like you can kind of sink yourself into the images more. And this one was, I think, $23.99. This deck, totally worth it in my opinion. Anyways, that is it. Those are my 5 favorite mini tarot decks. Let me know which one was your favorite, if you have any of these, and definitely let me know if you have a favorite mini deck that I didn't mention, because if I haven't checked it out already, I definitely will. And yeah, so that's it, guys. I will see you in my next video.